I know people are calling for Brian Daboll's head.
If they think Brian Daboll is a detriment to Jackson Dart's health,
right,
do we have to do this because we're worried about a guy that looks like the bright future of our franchise,
right,
and the person handling him is putting him in danger?
Abused. Oh, yeah, what's up? It's YouTube Live.
Tuesday.
I was about to say something else. What's up, everybody? Connor Rogers, Simms here. I don't know why. I almost said Instagram. That was really. I know it's
all
Tuesday, but I do know it's Tuesday for sure. Tuesday, we got a good show for you. We got lots to break down. We got the game to talk about last night. We got the Giants and Daboll to talk about. What's up, dude? I mean,
chilling, man. What's up with you?
How big's your closet? That's what I'd like to know.
It's pretty large.
I mean, apparently,
yeah.
I gave clothes than I think any man I know. Actually,
wow.
Yeah,
you probably played with some pretty well-dressed people.
I definitely did.
I do like clothes.
I'm not counting all of them, right?
Yeah, because they have a lot more money than me.
Right. I mean, I do know a few NBA guys and stuff like that. Where I'm sure, Carmelo. I'm sure he has a bigger closet than you too.
Well, those guys wear a different outfit every day of their lives, which is pretty sick. That's what I aspire to do. Yep. I'm not there yet.
I've lost him in my ear, just so everybody knows. Do you hear me in your ear?
I hear you loud and clear.
I don't know why my mic and everything just went off. Right.
I think we're okay. The beauty is the chat always lets us know.
Okay, good.
And I think
because I'm not hearing anything in my ear now.
It was a tough pill to swallow for me when we got our house. I gave my wife the walk-in.
Is that right?
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to do.
You have to do
it. The walk-in.
Yeah, right. I couldn't take the walk-in.
I mean, I have a big closet, and I have like one little section, right? And then the wife has all the big stuff.
Yep.
Right, everything there. And then in my closet, there was a little office area up top, like a small little kind of, like almost like a little, cubby hole kind of place,
nook.
Right? A nook, right?
Yeah.
Good way to say it. That is also part of her closet now, right?
You're losing
There was
everything.
a computer there and a desk where I used to do a little work every now and then. So now that's all where her shoes are, right? And
it just takes over everything.
Yeah, it takes over everything, exactly.
But we don't have kids yet. So, I still have the office life.
Yeah, right.
That'll go. Right. It'll all be gone.
My only thing is shoes, sneakers at times.
Yeah.
I have to empty that out from time to time.
Do you keep them boxed, or are they just the Wild West?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm the Wild West. I'm not that crazy about sneaker collection or whatever else.
It's just the amount of shoes you have.
I don't have a ton. I'm going to say I got 25, 30 pairs of sneakers.
Okay.
Right?
I would have taken the over on that.
But yeah, and within that, I feel like probably about 15 of them right now, I don't ever wear, and I'm actually about to get rid of them. Because I'm not into all the old Jordans anymore.
Right.
I have a few, but I also they make my feet hurt. Any old shoe makes my feet hurt because they're so flat. There's no cushion. So when me, I love sneakers, but I wear the guys playing NBA sneakers right now. I try to do that instead of wear Jordans all the time.
Dude, I've started wearing more New Balances.
Is that right?
Because they just feel incredible.
Yeah.
They're incredible. And they've gotten more stylish over the years.
Yeah.
I remember 15 years ago, it was this 70-year-old man mowing the lawn shoe. But now New Balances have...
Now it's cool, which I know.
It's hard to keep up with anything.
I hear you.
But they're comfortable.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
All right, Pete, can you talk to me in my ear? Because I don't hear anything or you or anything right now. And I don't know what happened to our sound. So obviously I'm gone because Pete's not. I don't hear Pete at all. That's lost.
I have Pete.
All
right. The beauty is we'll keep it rolling.
Okay.
We'll get through it, Chris. Because
my mic's on.
Of course, yesterday we leave. We do our live every Monday at 10 a.m. We love when you guys join us. And not too short after that, Brian Daboll is let go, which is a massive bit of news. We will get there as we will get to the film review for the Bills' offensive struggles, the Pats' offense exploding. But before we do any of that, Chris, the Monday Night Football recap. A really slow first half, a defensive battle.
Right.
Two teams that wanted to run the ball. The final is the Eagles beat the Packers 10-7. Let me just ask you this, despite the final score, because I think we live in an era of a good game is 51 to 48.
Everybody has ADD. Nobody can watch a game anymore.
That's a perfect way. They've tailored the rules to more scoring.
I have ADHD. It's 3 out of every 4 people. Right.
Did you enjoy this game?
I loved it.
I did too.
Loved it.
Felt like 1998 all over again to me.
I mean,
the formations, the running.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So there's a few things. First off, what came to mind for me as about the second quarter, and I echo what Joe Buck and Troy Aikman said. They were like, this has been an entertaining first half, right? So, I did think that. Also, it reminded me of the Giants 49ers, 1990. It was a 10-7 football game, right? And that's really where my mind went throughout the football game, where we saw movement of offenses. You'd go, "Ooh, here's a good few plays,"
right.
And then it was unbelievable. Right as they got in the fringe of like field goal territory or whatever else, and the defense was like, "That's enough. We let you have 2 or 3 plays. Now you're going to go backwards and have to punt the ball or do something like that."
Yeah,
destruction. Other thing I think that I love about it too was, one, I hope everybody recognized the talent on the field last night. See, that's where I looked at it too. You saw some of my text early on.
Right.
I mean, I was gushing about the Eagles and the way their defense looked from the get-go. I mean, when they lined up, I went, "Oh my gosh, look." I was literally there with my wife going, "Look at these two teams." I go, "Look at them. Look at the Eagles." And she's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, look how big they are. Look at this guy."
Yeah.
And she saw a few guys before they ran out of the tunnel, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that." And I was like, "Yeah, the Eagles are incredible." But then they line up, and Nolan Smith's there, and Jalen Phillips is there, and it's Jalen Carter. And it's, Davis, Jordan Davis in the middle. And I'm going, has there been a better looking front four in the history of football than that right there? And then we know Green Bay's also got an all-look team. So that's, to me, where I was excited, because I'm going, we're seeing just one freak of nature, alpha male after another, just going at it right now. And that's where I appreciated it. Yeah, and with games like this, too, the thing I like is not only, it's intense. Every yard, every play matters because it's so close, right? So managing the game is really intense for the football coaches too. I think that's the aspect I love. The physicality of the game in general, I loved that too. And there was no room for error. And you could feel that pressure watching the game on both teams being like, wait, I don't want to mess up. I mean, we want to do something good, but man, one mess up, we might lose the football game. And to me, I enjoy that. So that was really cool. There's no doubt about that.
Right. These are two organizations that, from covering the draft, I noticed this a lot, that they have thresholds when they draft a lot. And that's why you see the Packers their corners have a certain arm length. Their wide receivers are often a certain height. For the Eagles, just the sheer size in their front seven is insane.
Right.
Kobe Dean is like the biggest outlier of all time out of that group, because everybody else is just so colossal. These are two teams that they build it a certain way, and people don't always like it. But then when you get into an environment like this where it's cold, it's a bit of a rock fight, that's when those things matter, it seems like, so much. So I agree with you. It was really cool to see that kind of translate on the field, even if it doesn't always translate to the highest points.
No, right. That's all right. And then I think, too, with what we're talking to, and I like that you just brought this up, actually, is the cold. The cold is a thing where it's like your first game in the cold a little bit, your first practice or two, and it hasn't been cold like this in the Northeast until today. So I don't think the Eagles were a part of anything like that in practice during the week going, oh, we played in 28, 30-degree weather, right? Maybe Green Bay got a few days, but nonetheless, that first cold game does change things a little bit, right? It does. It's like, oh, the ball's a little slick. It's cold. Like, I got to grip it a little extra tight. Of course, hitting each other and feeling that at first is always like, oh, damn, it's cold. It hurts a little to hit tonight. I mean, it hurts anyways when you got to hit, but when you got to hit and it's
extra.
Like, and yes, and then like, the limbs are frozen, the ground is cold and all that. Yeah, that adds to it. But I really enjoyed the game. These are two Super Bowl teams. Right? There's two Super Bowl teams, and one of them just has a unit that's not playing like a Super Bowl unit. I mean, really, we could say both offenses aren't really playing like Super Bowl units. You could. But we know that the Eagles can still win like this on a consistent basis when their offense doesn't play like a Super Bowl unit, right? That's so I don't worry about it. I picked them last night because I was like, the close games, the Eagles win it. The Packers never do. I don't have faith in them in that situation, right? So, I want more from the Eagles offense, but I've seen them time and time again win football games like this where I go, they could go to the Super Bowl doing this bullshit right here, right? The Packers, on the other hand, I can say no, right? Their talent and everything you talked about, their scouting, all unbelievable. But they have not shown me that they can win games 13-10, 16-13 consistently, right? And play that type of game. Oh, it's low scoring. There's not going to be a lot of big plays. Now we still have to find a way to win the game.
Look at the Browns. Browns game.
Exactly.
That was our first
Think
clue.
Of Carolina. There was no big plays either,
right?
Wow,
yeah.
So they are too reliant on the big play for the rest of their football team. The Packers defense is a Super Bowl defense. You know that. The Eagles defense is a Super Bowl defense, right? But the Packers not running the ball like they did last year. That's the one big thing. Or the year before that when they were really dangerous. And their passing game is less than right now. It's less than. There's a lack of systematically just destroying offenses that's just not there in offense right now. You know me. I always use the surgicality word, right? There's none of that. It's like if we can't rip off a 25 or 30-yard throw somewhere on the drive, we'll be punting soon. That's kind of how it goes with them. And, so one, I don't think they're still missing Jaden Reed. Let's not forget that. Right, They need him big time because the rest of the group is just not special other than Christian Watson in my mind. They're all good. Dobbs is good. Wicks is good. But I don't go, oh, wow. They're not going to change a defense, I guess is what I'm saying.
They're a collection of number threes.
Exactly.
There's no other way to put it.
I think you're right. They don't really have a number one, right? Watson has the talent to be, but they've never been able to keep him healthy and consistently go, wait, you got to adjust to what he does and how we use him, right? Jaden Reed is really probably their only number one, and that's why they need him back. And I even question that, and I think you do with Matthew Golden.
Absolutely.
Is he really going to be a number one, or is he going to be a really good 2 or 3? Yeah. And right now, I would say really good 2 or 3.
I'm with you all the way.
But there is a lack of systematical destruction, surgicality, whatever you want to talk about in that Packers offense right now, that they're not getting away with, and they need to address it because, I don't think the run game's all of a sudden going to turn around here all of a sudden on week 11, and we're starting to go, oh my gosh, they're one of the best running teams. Right. Usually when you can't find your run game or it's just okay, and we get to week 10 or 11, it's just okay for the rest of the year. There's very few teams in the history of football who have just flipped the script in that and gone, oh man, all of a sudden they found a run game and they're physical and they've got it all together. That's a rare occurrence.
And Elton Jenkins on their offensive line suffering a lower leg fracture is not going to give any more confidence for that either.
Right.
Speaking of all this, before we go further, I do want to hear from Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs because they spoke specifically on their offense being stagnant.
Obviously, it's disappointing. It's frustrating, but it's a long season, and we'll find ways to improve. I'm very confident as an offense we'll find ways to get back to being great, putting up points and helping the defense out, but it's frustrating. I know as a defense, they definitely have every reason to look at us and say, what are you guys doing? You guys need to figure it out and help us out, put up some more points because they're doing a great job. So it's frustrating, but, we'll stay together. We'll keep the energy high and find ways to get better and be better as offense.
We midway through the season. We can't just keep saying, all right, we're going to address it. We got to find actual answers to our problems. I'm sorry. No, you're good. And I don't really honestly don't know what those answers is. I feel like everybody got to dig deep, have the belief, and give more. I mean, it's not easy. And, we can't live off of what we did last year or nothing like that. Like, we got to be in the moment.
The chat, Chris, is loving systematical, by the way.
They like systematical?
Yeah, I think that's the most they've liked a phrase from you in a long time.
Okay, that's good.
Systematical's really catching on.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like those guys see anything systematical right now. Dig deep.
Right.
Belief.
Right, exactly. Right. That's not enough. That's not enough.
It doesn't
right?
work that way.
They got to change some things there. Right. And I think that's where, to me, what jumps up, because we know, Green Bay's defense is special. They're special. It's a special group. It's crazy that they've had, 3 games where they've lost and that the team hasn't scored more than 13 points. And you go, wait, I know there's some issues here with the Green Bay offense, but there's enough talent that, 13 points should do it, right? Like, defense, you held them to 13, we should be okay there. So that's embarrassing from Green Bay's standpoint. With a quarterback like that, like a running back like that, I know Tucker Kraft's not there. I know we talked about the lack of number ones, but there's still enough there with the talent on their team where you expect more. And it's been quite some time since I really feel like their offense has functioned at a high level. In fact, I'll tell you, I don't really think it's maybe since the early part of the Bengals game, maybe the Cowboys game, and I don't even know if I put too much stock into the Bengals game just because it's the Bengals.
Justin Fields tore him up.
And at the end of the football game, they weren't great in that football game. The Cardinals game, go back and look at it. The numbers are not all that good. There was short fields. There was field goals. It was 27 points without really a great offensive performance. The Steelers game, okay, a little bit better. But why? Because the Steelers' slow-ass secondary played man-to-man, and Jordan Love got to throw a few deep shots down the football field. And that was it. right? But again, I don't know if that's something we can rely on realistically week after week after week. And then we go back to Carolina and Philadelphia where they went, wait, we're not going to let you throw the ball down the field, right? We're going to take away the big pass play. And we don't believe Jordan Love is systematically surgical enough, okay, to dice us up 6 yards, 7 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards, do that. One, their offense doesn't call those type of plays enough. Two, I don't think they call those plays because that's not necessarily his strong suit sometimes, right? We talked about this a little last year of how many throws and plays he would miss at times where he'd a 6 yard out, an 8 yard out, and you go, man, you're too good to miss that throw. Right. And I think they almost got away from it, or they've gotten away from it because they know that's not his strong suit. He's amazing at standing in there, throwing the ball down the field, off the back foot, why he's getting hit. He's great at all that. But you played a team last night where they don't put their guys in vulnerable positions in the secondary very much, right? Yeah. They got some talent in the secondary. They got a corner that I would say is starting to be in the conversation for the best corner in football, and Quinyon Mitchell. I think
that's fair.
Right? I mean, he might be. On an island, Quinyon Mitchell, I think, is probably the best corner in football right now. He has entered the conversation with Patrick Surtain. I that's what I believe. And they put pressure on him. This is where Vic Fangio started to do some different stuff where he's starting to go, you get that guy, and I'll do everything else with the other 10 guys. And that's where they're going to be scared because Vic Fangio's defense is hard to begin with. But Fangio and them, they go, wait, we're not going to let you throw the ball down the field. And then the other aspect of the game that hurt Green Bay was, okay, we want to drop back and throw the ball down the field. Well, what? Have you seen these four freaking natures who are collapsing the pocket play after play? The sacks don't really say what they did in this football game. Jordan Love felt the pressure all game long. He felt it. Oh, I want to wait for the deep in cut. Damn, everything's collapsing. Let me try to throw it underneath. Let me throw it before I really want to, right? All of that. And then it's just so they got to change their approach right now because right now, as we talk about all the time, there's nothing they do elite. There's nothing that they do that the other team goes, ooh, wait, we have to change the way we play to stop this. And then, of course, as we know, that opens up other things on your offense. And that's something they're going to have to figure out here sooner rather than later.
And the rich get richer. How about the debut for Jalen Phillips in this one, man? 6 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss. He had 2 quarterback hits. He recovered a fumble. But the most important number to me, Chris, is he had 7 pressures per Next Gen Stats. That is his most in a game since 2022.
Wow. And they're real pressures. This is one of Patrick Mahomes versus the Bills pressure where he had 7 seconds to throw, and then he got he was throwing. They're like, you're under pressure. And it's like, no, he was not. That was good coverage. This was like, wait, I take a 5-step drop. Holy cow, it's starting to collapse. I need to throw it, or I'm going to just take the sack, or I got to throw it away right now. That's what it is. I mean, so that's where, again, sacks and all that sometimes get blown out of proportion. That was a game right now last night where I looked at it and I was like, man, if I was playing a quarterback, I'd be uncomfortable. You're uncomfortable the whole night. You never felt good dropping back to pass once. He was like dropping back, and he's like, oh, gosh, there's Jalen Carter. He's in my face. Oh, gosh, Jordan Davis is pushing the pocket. Oh, okay, we got them blocked this time. Oh, gosh, Nolan Smith and Jalen Phillips are now collapsing it from the outside. I mean, they're incredible. I am amazed with the Eagles. I have such a crush on the Eagles, their football team. Yeah. I mean, just, the second level, whether it's Jahad Campbell, Zach Bond, of course, our Georgia guy at the middle linebacker.
Kobe Dean.
Right, Kobe Dean. I mean, it's just, they're an all-star team.
They are.
They're an all-star team that literally just goes, we're going to play sound. Maybe I'll take a chance here and there, but not really. We're so good that we think as long as we don't just make a mistake, Jalen doesn't throw an interception, which he doesn't ever do. We don't fumble. We don't all-out blitz and leave somebody in an island. We don't think you can beat us. And that's, to me, is just amazing that they can do that really week after week for the most part.
Yeah, it's just from them. They're the Kings of 2 things.
Yeah.
1, they understand value in the draft.
Right.
And 2, they get value back for other teams' players, like Jalen Phillips.
Exactly right.
They do that all the time.
Exactly right.
Where it's like, we traded for this guy, and we got more out of him than you ever did. But we got him 10 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, 10 cents on the dollar, you're right. We didn't have to trade an asset away that he's really worth, right? And knowing them, they'll evaluate it real quick, and they'll throw out a contract to him where he's only a year and a half from an Achilles injury, and he's going to go, oh, you know what? I mean, I've been hurt pretty seriously. That's pretty good money. I won't turn it down. And we're all going to go, they got this guy 3 years from now. We're going to go, he's the best sack artist in football. They got this guy for this amount of money. Right. Do you believe he's half of Micah Parsons? And he's a superstar. And he obviously loves Vic Fangio. He obviously, did you hear him in the post-game press conference?
No.
Oh, he was like, I just, the energy of being here. He's like, this team. He goes, I've never played at Lambeau. I walked out on Lambeau last night. He's a guy that gets it. He likes football. He likes football history. That's why Vic Fangio likes him.
Right.
He's going, he's old school. Let's bring him up here. Let's make him part of the team. So, yes, amazing by Philadelphia that way.
If there's a downside for the Eagles, even after the win, the run game just not efficient in this one.
Right.
When we thought it was looking a lot better. Saquon got 22 carries, 60 yards. He averaged under 3 yards per carry. The most important number, though, here, Chris, is that it was 1.3 yards before contact per carry.
Right. Well, it's tough running against that team.
Right. I think this is a little bit like, no, Green Bay's also really good.
Green Bay is amazing on defense. They're amazing. They really are. As much as I have a man crush on the Eagles, my slight right underneath that as far as defense is concerned is Seattle and Green Bay. Yep. Those are my next crushes, right? If I had to cheat on the Eagles, I'd go, ooh, I'm going to go cheat with the Seahawks or the Green Bay Packers, right? And so, yes, not easy that way. Here's one thing that I thought they got away from a little bit. The first drive when Jalen fumbled, they were underneath the center. Yeah. They were running I formation. And I went, ooh, I like the way this looks. As we talked about in the Giants game before the bye week, we were going, hey, this is cool, right? So they're getting big people in the game. But they got away from that, I felt like, for a period of time until later on in the football game. And I didn't understand that. And I wish they would just stay with that. I really do. And I don't know if maybe Lane Johnson's injury scared them away from that, and then they couldn't use their extra big people package as much. Whatever it was, I thought that had a good look early on, and then we got through a little bit of a period where I was like, oh, man, we're going to go back to the shotgun all the time and do that again, right? So that was the one thing I didn't love. But, I'm not going to sit here and dissect or overanalyze either one of these offenses too much because, these are two great defenses. They are. And we know the Eagles can be a little bland, right? I mean, that's what they are. And if you don't give them the opportunities on the outside, one-on-one, like we've always talked about, then they're not always that sexy in the pass game. But still they win football games, and that's why they're the ultimate Super Bowl football team.
I think one thing we can dissect, though, is Nick Sirianni on the 4th and 6. So that obviously there's 33 seconds left in the game. Yeah. They're on the 35, so they are in a very bizarre spot.
Right.
The Packers don't have any timeouts left. It was a clear shot play to A.J. Brown. Like, it was like, let's just take the shot to him. If we don't get it, they get the ball here. We think we could stop them. To their credit, they did enough to stop them.
Right.
But in the moment, what do you think are like his options in that spot? Were you surprised? Because I was surprised. I thought they would try just maybe like a little pooch kick or like something to just pin him. Because the time versus the yardage, if you pin him even further, mathematically they couldn't do it.
No. I was shocked with it.
Right.
I was literally sitting there going, like, all right, let's get ready to go to bed, right? With my wife, like it's over. They're gonna punt it down here and just pooch punt it, and it'll be it. Like,
even if it's a touchback,
doesn't matter.
It's another 15 yards. Which 15 yards is a play, and you don't have time for another play.
No, it's another 15 yards. It's even if you pooch punt it, that's going to be a 6 or 7 second runoff as well.
Right, so you're down to 25.
So, exactly right. You're in a spot there where I didn't get it. I really didn't. Now, I also don't love that. I hate it's a big moment. Let's just throw it up. Right? I hate that. You hear me in college football, right? It's like, oh, offensive coordinator making $2 million a year. A big moment. He just goes, hey, you run straight and you just throw it up. And it's like, holy shit, that's why we pay you $2 million a year? Like, I hate that crap. Have a play. Have something that you feel good about. Have some sort of like fake run RPO where Jalen Hurts is on the edge like we see the Colts do sometimes. And it's like, wait, he can throw the ball down the field, but if they cover it, okay, maybe he can run and go get it. I don't know, but I hate that. And yes, I certainly wouldn't have called that. I would have done a pooch punt, something like that. And yeah, okay, so what? It goes for a touchback. Like you said, you run some time off. It's still going to be the ball at the 20-yard line, and it's going to be hard to get in field goal position and win that game.
Is there any world where we can wonder that were they just trying to appeal to A.J. Brown?
I don't know.
Because I think there are legitimate people wondering.
I don't think you're wrong. They were probably like, damn, it's 2 for 11. Like, let's give him a shot. Maybe he can make a play here.
If he ends the game, it'll make
it good. Yeah. I mean, I doubt it, but
that would be egregious.
But still, it's people are gonna think that when you only throw the ball, 2 times to him for 11 yards. That's for sure.
Man, it was, definitely a very strange ending.
Very strange.
Now the question is, what's next for each? The Eagles are 7-2. They have a 3.5 game lead in the NFC East. They are currently the number 1 seed in the NFC.
That's over. They're going to win the NFC East.
And it's the beginning of November still. So their schedule, I don't think there's anything to fear here.
It's the big one this week. It's the Lions. We got Lions. We'll be on the field for it pregame here. And that's going to be awesome because just like the game we saw last night, this is going to be like the, oh shit, there's a lot of freaks of nature on here, part 2 on the field, right? I mean, that's what it is, right? I mean, Detroit's one of those teams where you walk on the field and you go, oh my gosh, Detroit's gigantic. Now, nobody makes you feel like the Philadelphia Eagles. Nobody. The Philadelphia Eagles are one of the greatest looking teams. I'd want to state this. They are one of the greatest looking teams I've ever seen in my life. And let me just say, in my life, I've been on the field and see a lot of great looking teams, right? I mean, I'd put it up there with some of those great Ravens defensive teams, right? When they took the field, you were like, holy crap. The 49ers with Jim Harbaugh, when they had Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, right? All those offensive linemen, Frank Gore,
Vernon Davis,
Anquan Bolden. I mean, everybody was like, it was just like one freak show after another, right? I was working in New England and we played them on a Monday night, or maybe it was a Sunday night. And I remember them going on the field for pregame in New England, and we had a big team and being like, holy crap, the 49ers are sick looking. Like, wow. So, yeah, I look at the Eagles as being a team that looks like the 90s Cowboys, looks like some of the 80s Giants football teams, where I just go, basic headline, if there was a fight that broke out with all 32 teams, the Eagles are going to end up on top and they're going to win the majority of them. But teams like Green Bay and Detroit are going to go, no, we think we can win the barroom's, scrum fight. We think we're capable of doing that. And Detroit's one of those teams where I go, well, yeah, they might actually be able to. So let's wait and see how it plays out.
And we're going to find out. As for Green Bay, things are not as clear. They're now 5-3-1.
Yep.
That's 3rd in the NFC North because it feels like nobody ever loses in this division.
Right.
Which is insane.
The damn Bears keep squeaking it out. They're like, can you give us some breathing room, Bears?
The Bears keep finding a way. So now the Packers are the 7th seed in the NFC. And quite frankly, Chris, that's just not good enough for the expectations of this team after acquiring Micah Parsons.
No way. No, exactly right. They're not. They weren't expecting. They got Micah Parsons because they were like, we're one player away from winning the Super Bowl. That's how they felt. That's what that move was. They went
over the top.
Our team's great. We don't have anything. We're set up for the next few years. We need a guy on the defensive side of the ball that can close some games out and disrupt some things and change the way a team plays us a little bit. Now, again, looking at this, it's insane, right? I mean, the 7 seed could go to the Super Bowl, as we keep talking about in the NFC. The NFC is stacked, right? I don't look at Chicago and go, they can go to the Super Bowl, even though they're a seed above Green Bay right now. But still, if you had to play Chicago, you'd be like, oh, gosh, we got to play Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson and all those weapons. That'll be scary. But, yeah, I don't think they're that caliber. But as we talked about yesterday, everybody else in the NFC playoffs right now, right? Rams, Green Bay, Tampa, Detroit, Seattle, Philly. I think you share the sentiment with me. Like, I think they could be there on Super Bowl Sunday when we're there, doing the game on NBC.
I would think the 1 through 6 seeds in the NFC this year, if you were just going by like what the spread would be between if they all play each other, it would be the tightest it's ever been.
Right? It's going to be 2.5.
I was just going to say
3.5.
there's no way it goes beyond a field goal for any game.
Yeah, right.
Any game.
I agree. No matter what matchup you look at, you go, oof. Tampa versus the Rams, coin toss. Detroit versus Seattle, coin toss. Philly versus the Rams, coin toss, right? Tampa versus Philly, go coin toss. I mean, you're right. You can make every combination possible and go, yeah, watch out. It's going to be a nail biter.
We're going to take our first break. When we're back, we're staying in the NFC. The Giants made a big change yesterday. The question is, did they do enough?
Well, you feel like you have the answer to get this turnaround?
Yeah, but it hasn't been. So, it's another tough loss.
Brian, are you worried about your job at 2-8?
Yeah, I'm just focused on, these guys in the locker room.
That was previous Giants coach Brian Daboll after the loss this weekend. The Giants do something that isn't really typical for their organization, moving on from a coach midseason. They're an organization that they try to kind of, as long as he's lasted, exude patience.
Right. I mean, when's the last time the Giants fired a coach in season, honestly, right? I mean, it's not in my lifetime.
No, I was going to say, I couldn't remember.
So. I mean, I grew up with Ray Perkins, Bill Parcells, Ray Hanley, right? Went to Dan Reeves. That didn't happen there. And went to Jim Fossil. Did Fossil get fired in the middle of the season? I don't think so. No. Right?
Oh,
so McAdoo after the Gina. There you go.
That was
good call by Pete Demolitis there.
That was a event that caused it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it was. It was an event that caused it. All of it. And the Eli politics, the blowback from the team, and the fan base about, oh my gosh, Eli. The fact that it was Gino and he was a Jets castaway and they benched him for that. It all hit this perfect storm of just stupidity there. And you're right. That's what happened there.
Do you think this was done now, Chris, because of the way they've lost these games, or do you think part of it is what's going on with Jackson Dart? Because now he's legitimately hurt. It's not that he was in the blue tent. He's in concussion protocol.
It's tough for me to put my finger on this one here. I think I think two things would really make you down on Daboll. And one would be, we're blowing games that we should have won, right? So there's that. And then two, yes, the prized possession, the unicorn, the franchise. You're gonna just run them into the wall all the time? We're gonna just use them and abuse them to what? Maybe save your job or just save you this week? What is it, right? So I think there was probably some frustration there. I could see that adding to it. But at the same time, I'll tell you, I'm surprised they did it. I am.
Yeah.
You heard what I said yesterday. See, my big thing was okay, we're gonna fire him. It's inevitable. We know that, right? Nothing's gonna be fixed right now going forward. There's nothing oh, no, now Kafka took over. Watch out. We'll start winning games. Come on. No.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an extension of Daboll. I mean, we know that. So, yeah, and then the other thing, okay, so you might be disappointed that Jackson Dart is getting banged up and doing that. Sure, I get that. Some of that's Jackson Dart, too. I don't think Brian Daboll's telling him, hey, lower your head and run him over every time, right? I'm sure they're telling him, hey, get down, protect yourself. But Jackson Dart's young, and I've been there. And when you're young and that, you bring it. You don't know any different. You think you're indestructible.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how I lost my spleen. I mean, because I was nobody can hurt me. I'm going to stand in the pocket, and I lost my spleen. I mean, that's just where their mindset is for most football players, and especially in their young days, right? So, okay, there's that. But then at the same time, where I just go, I don't totally agree with it right now, is the development of Jackson Dart. You could say what you want. He is playing good. He's doing things that are special on the football field. And some of that is because of Brian Daboll. And this is Brian Daboll's guy, and I just would have kept that going at least for this year to let Jackson Dart keep getting better and better. And then it's just the year's over, and we fire Brian Daboll.
Right.
I don't think it would have affected anything. They still could work behind the scenes about talking to coaches that could possibly be there. And then they're not going to the playoffs. So as soon as the season's over, you can start talking to coaches then. Teams are going to like this job. It is the New York Giants. Yep. It is we got a quarterback. Oh, we got Malik Neighbors. Oh, we got pass rushers. Okay, wait, this isn't that horrible.
Patient owner.
A patient owner. We do. So that's where I guess I didn't totally love the aspect of doing it at this second right here.
What is it like being a player at any level?
Yeah.
College, NFL, being on a staff, whatever it is, when not just a head coach, any staff member is let go and there's that void all of a sudden in season.
I mean, I've never been a part of it to really know. I can't imagine. I really can't. I mean, that's one where you just go, as a player, you're going to feel down because you're going to go, damn, we let the coach down. I mean, he got fired. I mean, life's over that way. You start to go, damn, will I be here next year? Right? Gosh, the organization's had enough. They're going to make changes. Like, what's going to happen there? I mean, there's only going to be like 6 or 7 guys on the team that are going to go, oh, I'm definitely back next year. Everybody else is going to be like, uh-oh, we're playing for our lives here in New York, and the coaches are going to feel the same way. So it's like a death in the building. That's what it's really like. I maybe in 2010 when I was with the Tennessee Titans, right? I remember there was some Jeff Fisher, should he keep his job and do all that stuff and that talk, in around the media with the Tennessee Titans. Did the locker room know? Definitely. Was the locker room kind of hurt by it? Like, yeah, damn, like, man, we like Fish. We're playing for him. It's not his fault. We've messed some things up. And I think there's some of that. But, man, I just can't imagine being a part of a situation like that. It's got to be crazy.
So for Daboll, his 4 seasons as Giants head coach ends with a 20-40-1 record. Their offensive points per game ranks 2025. This year they were 19th. The year before they were 31st. In 2023, they were 29th. And then, of course, the bright spot was 2022, the debut, when they were in the top half of the league at 14th.
Right.
I just think what it comes down to, though, this year specifically is the 4 losses already this season when they had a double-digit lead.
That's it.
And it's weird because there are people, I try to keep in the loop in the New York Pulse and media, and I feel like a lot of the combo this morning was, well, why wouldn't you move on from Shane Bowen first and let Daboll finish out the year? There's 2 sides of that to me is, Chris. One, okay, that's fair. That's one way to do it. The other side is Daboll hires his defensive coordinators.
Right.
And that's been one of the downfalls of his tenure as coach is whether it's friction with the DC, hiring the wrong guy with the DC.
Wink Martindale should have never been fired.
And they couldn't get along.
They couldn't get along because, from everything I know, Daboll was going to tell Wink Martindale how to run the defense.
And fire his staff members.
Right. So that was like, Wink's a loyal guy. And he's like, well, if you're going to fire my friends and the guys that I believe that helped me out the most, then damn, fire me too. And that wasn't a good look. I think there's that. You're exactly right about the 10-point losses, right? I'm sure ownership and GM have heard frustrations about Daboll a little bit behind the scenes with players, right? I'm sure there's been some offensive guys with some of his emotional outbursts that are like, that's not fair. He does that to me. It's Saquon. We can't do anything with Saquon, and he goes to another team, and he's the best running back we've ever seen in our life. It's Daniel Jones' fault. It's Daniel Jones' fault. Then he goes somewhere else, and it's like, damn, Daniel Jones is playing like he's one of the 6 or 7 best quarterbacks in football. Is it Daniel Jones' fault? Right? So I just think all of that piled on, eventually. Eventually, exactly right. And then, the Joe Schoen thing is curious too, right? I am a believer in a little bit in, when you clean house, you clean house, right? I know the next head coach, he's going to go there because there's only so many jobs you can get, and he's going to go, I want to be the Giants head coach. But is it going to be perfect that he's going to feel like, oh, wait, there's another job equal to that where I can go and bring my GM or we come in the door together? They'll lose out in those scenarios if that's the case, if everything's equal. Because everybody wants to go in with their GM. Okay, you're on my side. We're in this together. Most likely we'll be fired together. We're going to talk about the vision of our team before we get in the building. When you have a GM that's there already, he's like, oh, I'm going to tell you what to do, head coach. And, I got the year of the owner. Did you notice the last guy got fired? I'm here. And so the coach is always going to feel like that. So there is that aspect of it that, I don't necessarily love. Not to say that it can't work. Again, Howie Roseman was there. He's fired coaches and brought a new coach in and makes it work and do all that. But Joe Schoen hasn't proven to be that good of a GM yet to be that guy, right?
It goes back to the combo we just had with players. Green Bay and Philadelphia, they know how to get their coaches the players they need.
Right.
Now, whoever the Giants hire, assuming Joe Schoen is truly leading this process, and I'll read a quote from John Mara in just a second, is that coach has to assume and believe that. Because he might not have ever worked with Joe Schoen.
Right.
He might be taking the chance and go, okay, I can go to New York. I have Jackson Dart. I like some of the young talent. Hopefully Joe Schoen improves at his job as an evaluator and gets me the players I need from my scheme. Versus that same head coaching candidate can go, I've worked alongside this VP of personnel for many years.
Right.
He knows exactly what I do schematically.
Exactly right.
And when I tell him I need this at wide receiver 2, he's going to go get it for me. And I know it.
Right. Right.
That's when the tiebreaker comes into effect.
That's when the tiebreaker comes into effect. If there's something equal there out there that's to get the job, right? And I think that's really a big thing. And so many times with that, and you explained it perfectly, it's just a lot of the times when guys have that little, I'm a coach, this guy's the VP of personnel or whatever else, they have a same sentiment or thoughts about the game anyways. That's why they've bonded and begin like, hey, do you want to take the next job? Because they've had enough conversations to go, hey, we think alike.
Exactly.
Like, when you see a player that you like, I always like them too. I'm always like, I like that guy. Then you say it, and I go, oh, damn.
Yes.
Right? So that's how those relationships happen.
It's human nature.
It is exactly right. I mean, so yes, there's that aspect that'll be missed here. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, I was a little surprised all in all that Daboll did get fired yesterday. I was shocked.
The biggest standout quote to me from John Mara was, we feel like Joe has assembled a good young nucleus of talent, and we look forward to its development. Unfortunately, the results over the past 3 years have not been what any of us want. We take full responsibility for those results and look forward in the kind of success our fans expect. Do you think they have a good young nucleus of talent?
It's good enough.
For a bad team, it is very good because it's at key spots.
It is. It's
pass rusher, left tackle, quarterback, wide receiver.
Sub receiver. Right. Exactly right.
So I think that's like the pro-Giants
argument. I think that's the pro-Giants argument. Definitely. Now, we'll see how some other guys, end up working out. Does Darius Alexander become something as a D tackle? I mean, Dexter Lawrence was there already for sure, right? Bobby Okereke, he did bring in. That's another good one. You look at it. The corner position, okay, maybe we could yearn for more there a little. The offensive line would be another one where you still could go, no, Joe Schoen hasn't got that right directly.
Interiors especially struggled.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
But hey, the tight end, he did do that. That's for sure. That's been damn good. I think the receivers are somewhat underrated in my opinion. I know Darius Slayton has the drops and do all that, but I always thought he's a little bit better than the way they used him, right? We see that what's his Wandale, right, is a pretty damn good player.
Yeah.
But there's times where it's just like, where is he? Or can he do anything other than the 4-yard out on 3rd and 5?
Right.
It's 3rd and 5, you're going to run a 4-yard out. It's 3rd and 6, you're going to run a 5-yard out. I mean, we laugh about that weekly in the viewing room when we watch the Giants play. So, I will agree that, I do believe he's built a pretty good young nucleus, yes.
So a little bit of a nice counter argument here from Pete, who lives and dies with the Giants, so he gets it as much as anybody.
Yeah.
Andrew Thomas was there when Joe Schoen arrived.
Yeah, right.
Totally fair.
Yep.
This one I like a lot. Malik Neighbors and Abdul Carter were two obvious top 5
no-brainers, right. I mean, no, but as long as you weren't blind, you knew they were top 5 picks.
What do you think of the theme that Jackson Dart was Daboll's pick?
I don't have any doubt about that.
Okay.
100% is Daboll's pick. I mean, one, I've seen the video on social media, and I know we're about to show that, I think, right? So I've seen that before. And I was always led to believe in the draft process that Daboll fell in love with Jackson Dart. The more he dug in, and then when he got to meet him, and then he was like, holy crap, this kid's brain, he was like, I'm all in on it, right? So that was not Joe Schoen's pick. That for sure is not. It was Brian Daboll picked Jackson Dart. So, yes, that's something there where Shane's going to get credit for the young nucleus there. And this guy right here, just with that face, is going to be, come on. Yeah. I picked Jackson Dart. That was my pick, right? So, I mean, let's show that. Let's show that.
Here's the video behind the scenes of Joe Schoen trading up for Jackson Dart.
Specifically, if it's a quarterback and you're weighing what do you want to give up to take the player, it's a quarterback. So if you're right, a lot of times it really doesn't matter what you give up.
I mean, we can get it done in 2 picks with Denver. I'm just trying to see if we wait, trying to get as much information as we can. But Pittsburgh's a quarterback needy team, but they're looking to move back too. So nobody's gonna remember a 3rd-round pick if you're right. So you guys are convicted in him. You believe in him. We did the process. He checked all the boxes. Let's roll the dice. Roll the dice.
Yeah, I mean, the proof is in the pudding there.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, there you go. I mean, he was telling you there, like, if he was going, hey, I'll make the trade. Just give me that this is the guy you want, and we want him. Screw what we got to give up for him. Like he said, it's a 3rd-round pick that nobody will ever remember.
It's a great trade.
Right. It's a great trade. Incredible. So, yes, with that, but that's Brian Daboll. And I'd always heard that. And listen, I questioned Brian Daboll at the time when I heard it because I was like, well, he wants to make sure they pick a quarterback so he can save his ass and get a full year.
Right.
Right? And then just no matter what, if they don't make make the playoffs. I go, yeah, but look, the quarterback was doing good. You sure you want to disrupt
Which
it?
was right.
Right. Exactly right.
It didn't work out both ways.
It did. It could,
Yes.
both could be true.
Yes.
Exactly right there. Now, I know, so young nucleus, good, all that. Are we just absolutely wowed? Like, Pete, you did a great job here. Kayvon Thibodeau was not worth the number 5 pick in the draft, as I always stated.
Right.
Good player,
Yeah,
no doubt about it, but not a top 5 pick. So that where you can go, did we miss? Yeah, we missed. Because that's supposed to be a home run there, and that was like a double, right? That's what I would say. Evan Neal was a disaster.
Right.
That was beyond. It was like you never got to hit the whole baseball season. Okay, like you went hitless.
It's as big of a bust as we've had over
exactly
the years
right.
at non-quarterback.
Exactly. You get into Deontay Banks, where it started out okay.
Yeah.
It started out okay, but it's gone bad ever since, I feel like. I feel like Wink kind of knew how to use him and got him going
That's a
to a
great
degree.
point.
And then D coordinator changed, and it's never been the same for him.
No, they're afraid to play him.
Right.
And whenever he has to come in from an injury, everybody's like, oh, God.
Oh, God, he comes in, and then like we made fun of him a few weeks ago. He comes in, and they go, hey, now cover their best receiver on a big third down. You're like,
Yeah.
what?
Well,
You don't
the
even want him on the
Denver
team.
game?
Now you're
Yeah.
going to ask him to take Cortland
Yes.
Sutton, the biggest moment of the game? Like, that didn't make sense. John Michael Schmitz, right? John Michael Schmitz.
Yep.
Who, listen, again, I liked him a
I did
lot
too.
But, yeah, it hasn't worked out to not the
Right.
capacity we thought it was. Jalen Hyatt definitely hasn't worked out. Tyler Nubin, is a good player, but was he a round 2 pick? Probably not.
Probably not,
Right? I think that's where we are here. So, yes, it's not been perfect. It's not been perfect, I think, is where we're at here. But there are enough there where I can understand ownership going, okay, we like Joe Schoen. He has done some good things here, and let's see where it goes from here. I don't think it's crazy.
Also, the end of that video, him saying, let's roll the dice. Usually, like when guys are in draft rooms and they take quarterbacks, I've never heard things phrased like that ever.
Well, what
I've heard
say
we can't
roll
wait
the
to have this
dice
guy.
is a passive-aggressive way to put it on going.
I hope you're
I
right.
just hope you're right because this is your pick. That was his way of saying, hey, this is your pick. Hey, this is Daboll's pick, everybody. He knew the camera was in there. That was his way of saying
Now it looks
right?
worse
It was like
that he
when my
said
wife
that.
says passive-aggressive things to me, and I'm like,
You
what?
pick
what does
up
that-
on it.
What does that
Yep.
mean exactly? What are you saying there?
DeLexicano, one of the homies weighing in. Why does Shane still have a job? This clown was calling Tennessee for Ward on draft day while Daboll was pushing for Dart. You can count Shane's good acquisitions on one hand. His screw-ups fill a notebook.
Yeah. Well, listen, I get that. Now, I think everybody was in on the Cam Ward thing
Right.
in that
He
organization.
went
I don't
number
think
one
Brian
for a
Daboll
reason.
was like, hey, don't take Ward at 1. I want to take Dart at 26. No. And don't get fooled by what the Titans offense is worse than the Giants, all right? Cam Ward's going to be fine. So it's not like that was a crazy thought there. And, yeah, I think there was a time there where they were like, we're not sure Tennessee's going to take Cam Ward. We love him. We'd like to take him. There definitely was that time there in the New York Giants. But then it became, like, pretty apparent that Tennessee was locked in on Cam Ward.
So one more thing on Brian Daboll here, the Coach of the Year kiss of death.
Yeah.
Only 4 former Coach of the Years are with the team they won it with as we look at recent history here. Of course, Kevin O'Connell and Kevin Stefanski, 2-time Coach of the Year winner. Brian Daboll, gone.
Yep.
Mike Vrabel, now with the Patriots.
Yeah, well, they're
Which still
stupid,
blows
Tennessee.
me. Dumbest thing ever.
They're dumb, right.
Matt Nagy, of course, from 2018. I
Yep.
kind of forgot he won Coach of the Year
I
in
know,
2018.
right.
That year feels so far away.
Yep.
And then Jason Garrett, who's now here with us, of course.
Yeah, Jason Garrett, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott's rookie year where they were really the best team in the NFC, and Rodgers made that throw on the sideline to Jared Cook to upset them right in the divisional round. That was a monumental, marquee, unreal Aaron Rodgers play there. Stefanski's on there twice, right? Because it's like, oh, he just exceeded expectations. That's all that is there. And that's the problem with this award sometimes. We don't always pick the best coach. We pick the guy.
Almost never.
It never. Right. Exactly right. Almost never. So, again, you win this one. When I look at that there, I go, okay, yeah, John Harbaugh was an awesome coach who is an awesome coach and deservingly so should have won that. And that was a year where I got to go, Shanahan could have won that too. I mean, he exceeded expectations and went to the Super Bowl with the 49ers that year. And then, of course, Vrabel. But everybody else is, a little bit of that same talk you're talking about there. And I'll be interested to see where this goes and where the search brings them. Do they get scared of going with the first-time head coach? Do they look at somebody that's, been a coach before, right? Is there a coordinator out there that's been a coach? Is there a coach that might be leaving a team, right? Does the Giants want to call Pittsburgh and go, hey, you know, we're friends, the Maras and the Rooneys, right? You know, I mean, one of the daughters is Rooney Mara because her family is both sides, right? The famous actress where, hey, we're sick of Mike Tomlin. Hey, we'll take Mike Tomlin. We need something to go. Right? You know, the Ravens don't go to the Super Bowl, and the Ravens go, hey, it's time to make a change. We just needed to go different ways here. Is John Harbaugh there?
That makes a lot of sense.
The Giant is Bill Parcells calling the Maras right now Bill Belichick. That's what
my goodness.
I texted Pete last night.
Let's look at the odds.
I said the real question. Yeah, let's look at the odds. I said the real question is how many times has Chapel Bill called the Maras today? That's what I said yesterday on one of our text chains that we were on.
He's on the list. He's just not on. He didn't make this.
He's
screen.
way down.
He's plus 1,600.
It's
they can't entertain that, right?
I would hope not. There's a great relationship between the Giants and Bill Belichick.
You know what because there are people listening.
I mean, they talked about did Bill to hire this one.
Right.
Remember there was the Brian Flores or Brian
scandal
Daboll whole thing,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Joe Judge was hired because of Bill Belichick, right? Belichick has stated to people really going into the last 2 or 3 years of his New England years, he was stating to people behind the scenes a little bit like, I would love to go back and work with New York and the Giants. You've seen America's Game or the thing he did with Parcells. He cries in the hallway.
When he's in the hallway.
He loves the Giants.
It's like sacred ground to him.
He loves the New York Giants. And, of course, I think it would be a way for him to stick it to New England and Bob Kraft and everybody, too. So there's like all of that there.
Yes, it's all there for him.
I don't think that'll happen. And, you know, I think a lot's going to dictate just seeing where these teams go that are in the playoff race and how good some of these offenses and defenses go. And then we'll get maybe a clearer picture of who the really hot candidates are.
Yeah, back to your coordinator point, too. I wonder if they're bold enough to hire a defensive head coach.
I know, right.
Because this coaching cycle, and a new name could pop on at any time. If Stefanski gets fired, if Harbaugh gets fired. But as it stands right now, a lot of the up-and-comers like Jesse Minter from the Chargers.
Exactly right.
That's exciting guy.
Right.
But he's
like
a
Daboll
defensive guy.
Too. Right. You're right.
So
I know.
Are they bold enough? And it always depends who they're pitching as their offensive coordinator, and on it goes. One thing with Belichick, Chris, that I'm skeptical of, besides all of the other stuff, I don't know if he can put together the right staff anymore in this era. His offensive coordinator is not leaving New England, nor should he. And why would he be able to get Matt Patricia back?
No,
who's killing it right now for the best team in college
exactly.
football.
I think there was people didn't go with him to North Carolina because they were like, I'm done going with Bill.
Exactly.
It's over, right? They're done with some of his antics and they're done with some of his decisions. They weren't going to be a part of it.
They didn't believe in it.
They didn't believe in it. So, yes, I don't disagree with what you're saying there. I don't. You know, there's always coaches out there. But, yeah, is there the coaches that he wants, that he knows he can fit? And, yeah, did the game pass him by? I think that's a fair question. Listen, when you put Joe Judge and Matt Patricia as your offensive coordinator, it's fair to question, like, are you logically still thinking the right things when it comes to coaching an NFL football team?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a crazy thought.
Look at Mac Jones now.
Right.
I mean,
exactly right.
They almost broke Mac Jones.
They almost
credit
exactly
to him.
right.
He's a completely capable NFL quarterback right now.
100%.
So
yeah, it is. But you're right. A lot of the names are coordinators who would be first timers, and do they want to do that? Other than when you get into like Steve Spagnuolo, right? Where you go, okay, he's done it. You know, would he be a guy that'd come back up here? And, you know, he's a Northeast guy to begin with. Would he want to do that? Has he learned from his last time with the Rams? I don't know. But I am going to be interested to see if they're going for the young, hot, and up-and-comer.
Yeah.
Or do they try to go with somebody like, hey, we need just to get our organization, you know, all our ducks in a row. Let's go with somebody that's been there, done that a little bit, and can bring our team back to the promised land.
It's funny you break it down that way because the top two guys represent one of each. Mike McCarthy has the shortest odds. He's the latter. And then the former is what you said, Clint Kubiak.
Yeah.
The up-and-coming offensive coordinator. He's plus 800 with the second shortest odds. So that tells us that, like, nobody knows right now. And it's going to be a long search. And we're assuming Joe Schoen is going to be at the front of it. Of course, ownership is going to be at the front of it. And there's a lot of football left to be played for these guys to get more hype and more on their resume, and we'll ultimately see where it goes. K. Gemma weighs in. Can you imagine Bill Belichick with Dart? The first Selly Bill sees, he'll want to bench him.
You're right.
That would be quite the juxtaposition, just those two standing next to each other.
It would be. Jackson trying to teach Bill Belichick the new TikTok dance he's about to do that day. That would be hilarious.
Delexicano said, too bad the Giants burned the bridge with Brian Flores when they hired Daboll. I would have loved him as head coach.
Yeah, I don't know if you burned the bridge.
Right.
All right, let's see. I mean, he's not that stupid. You offer him $9 million, $10 million a year, and he's a head coach. He might go, hey,
Everybody's got a
that
price.
bridge you burned, I don't think the bridge was burned by the Giants. The bridge was burned by Belichick there. I don't think he's going to hold the Giants and make them mad or be like personally mad about that to them.
And he's a Brooklyn guy.
Would I love Brian? I mean, if there was a guy that they brought out in here that I'd go fits New York, fits the attitude, could coach the team, deserves to be another head coach, went 10-6 2 years in a row, and got fired with the Miami Dolphins. And they weren't even trying to help him all the way, and they made him play and draft a quarterback he didn't want, and they made some trades behind the scenes and changed the personnel, and he was like, what? We're doing what? I don't want that guy. That was a disaster. It wasn't fair to him. I would love that right there. And I know I see that Arthur Healy here, he's saying something about Kingsbury. Yes, Kingsbury, I understand his name will be in this. I want to see how the rest of this year finishes.
Yeah.
I want to see it. He's definitely better than what he was with the Arizona Cardinals. Right? I understand that. But at the same time, I'm not sitting here ready to just go, oh, gosh, he's earned it. He should definitely be a head coach right now. Right? I don't know about that. So, yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more.
I really like Cliff as a play caller. He's obviously a really great football coach. I don't know if he has the personality for that job.
Yeah, in New York and dealing with that.
It just feels like
you're under a microscope in New York.
It's different.
Everywhere you go. I mean, everywhere you go, you're going to dinner's not the same. Going to get lunch is not the same. You know what it is up here in this area. I mean, it's a lot of people. They're obnoxious. They're loud. They love it. They hate it. They hate you. They love you. It's all of that. That's
when
just, you got to be ready.
They're never better.
Exactly
when
right.
Things are bad, they're never worse.
Exactly right. I can tell you from personal experience. I'd go out with my dad when I was young, and if they were hot, damn, he was the king of the world. If they were losing, it was like, hey, we can't go out because we're going to get shit on as a family no matter where we go.
It's crazy. All right, we're going to take one last break. When we're back, the film room heads to the AFC East, where the Pats offense is rolling right now. The Bills, not so much.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code CORNERBACK when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
NBA Coast to Coast Tuesday, Celtics 76ers, then Nuggets Kings starts tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC and Peacock.
Yeah, baby.
The chat is weighing in, Chris.
Yeah.
K. Gemma said, New Balances, laugh out loud, Connor is washed. I don't deny this, man.
But you're not wrong that I feel like they're more popular.
They are. Because they started to sign some bigger athletes.
Yeah, right.
Like, they're really big in baseball.
They got Shohei.
Yep.
Right.
Lindor.
They got Lindor. They have
someone else that's
Kawhi
big.
Leonard.
That's right. They did get Kawhi, right?
And I feel like we're missing one other person that I've seen in their commercials lately that is also there. But, like I have noticed those old classic grays, right?
Yeah, all grays.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen people wearing those.
He said
more.
Tyrese Maxey. That would be big if they have Tyrese Maxey. So, yeah, they have.
Right. But I only wear Nike, right?
Yeah. You're a Nike man.
I'm a Nike. I don't wear anything else. Like I am famous for being the kid that, as being the number one recruit in the country coming out of high school. I would tell teams like, no, you're not a Nike school.
That's
I'm not going there.
I love that. You didn't have a lot of demands, but that was one of them.
That was one of them.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to, and Texas, of course, when I committed, was a Reebok school. And I went to Mac Brown and I said, man, I hate Reebok. Sorry, Reebok. I hate Reebok. It really stinks. He goes, Christopher, I've always been with Nike. Don't worry. After this year's up, we'll be back with Nike.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, okay, as long
Done.
as you promise. And we were done. We went back to Nike. My freshman year, I wore Reebok, and then we went to Nike from there on out.
They came through with
Yeah.
it. Yeah, you would have been like, in this era, you would have been playing 4 years at Oregon.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
95
Something
uniforms.
like that. Right.
You'd have everything you ever wanted.
Oh,
from
gosh,
them.
I know. One of them, or Michigan being Jordan, right?
I mean, that's a
Ohio
cool
State's
look.
LeBron.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
it's
sick.
crazy now. It's crazy, yeah.
All right, the Week 10 film review. The Dolphins defense kind of put the Bills offense in a blender.
Yes, they did.
In this one, Chris. It was a lot of fun looking through your notebook for this. I love the point about Miami's front. Sneaky, stout front. They've drafted and signed a lot of bigger people over the years to become a bigger, tougher football team. This seemed like the game where they started to really reap those rewards.
They definitely did. And I'm trying to get to my damn game here, but here we go. So, yes, they definitely, I think you look at it, one, and you go, okay, let me just name some names for you here. First off, the two edge guys, right, and Judon and Bradley Chubb are pretty big guys, right? So you got that right off the bat, right, where you go, okay, they got some size on the outside. Then you get on in the inside, and you go, oh, okay, Benito Jones is in there. Whoa, okay, he's 330 pounds. The rookie that really pops in a big way is Jordan Phillips, 94. Right, and he's 320 pounds.
Right.
So they got him. And then Zach Seiler is your other defensive lineman. So when you play base offense or try to get big, they have a five-man front where I go, wait, good luck trying to move that front on a consistent basis. And then, hey, you look at the two linebackers and you go, oh, Jordan Brooks, have you seen Jordan Brooks in person? He's built out of granite or steel. I mean, he's 6'1", he's 245. He's jacked, right? And he's playing pretty damn good football. Comes downhill and is aggressive. Tyler Dotson, again, maybe a little bit smaller, but 237 and stout and willing to come downhill and be a part of the run game. So having not watched Miami's defense in a few weeks on film, I feel like that was one where I was like, damn, yeah, I got to give Miami a little bit more credit for being bigger and more physical up front. And you've seen, really, other than just being on the field too much against Baltimore, they've run the ball. I mean, they've played good run defense over the last month. They really have. They've been tough to run. Atlanta didn't run the ball all that well on them. Cleveland, even though they won that game, it was tough sledding. Junkins broke one run. The rest of the game was like he can't even get to the line of scrimmage. I mean, it really was like that to a degree because he had like 24 carries for 95 yards, and there was two big runs in the game. But, yeah, so that was something that definitely, I think, shocked me at first when I first saw that.
I forgot Jordan Phillips was there from this draft. He was somebody that was really interesting, a round 5 pick, but he was someone that in high school he was a championship weightlifter and wrestler.
Oh, I didn't know that about him.
So he had this like real. His lower half is like an oak tree.
He's impressive looking.
Yeah.
Right.
He was a big time wrestler, weightlifter. At Maryland, he was really good, but no one cared because he didn't get pass rush production.
Right.
It was like sit in the middle. 2 gap, nobody ever moves you.
Yeah, exactly right. He is. When I first saw Jordan Phillips, I was like, wait, they signed Jordan Phillips?
Right.
And I was
It's
like,
confusing.
Oh, wait, this is the guy that just came out in the draft. So, yeah, that was one thing I think that was a big part of the football game because Buffalo, who wants to rely on the running game right away, I think early on, because when I first looked at the stats, I went, man, Buffalo didn't run the ball enough. What are they doing? But then when I turned the game film on, I went, oh, man, okay, I could see why they didn't. Because the first few times they ran the ball, their offensive line went backwards or they went nowhere. Like, there was like, well, you didn't even move Miami. And, like, Jordan Brooks and Dotson were there to meet the running back in the hole, and that was it. So I think that scared them away, and rightly so. But within that, what does it bring up that we always question about Buffalo? Okay, now they can't run. Now it's okay. Can their receivers get open, and can they do stuff that way? And that's where it got into the old story of it just became the baseline too Josh Allen centric again.
Well, let's look at the notebook.
That's really what it is. Yeah,
because this was another page that jumped out of the notebook where this is kind of getting a very loud talking point with the Bills. No scary wide receivers. They don't throw the ball outside enough.
No. That's one thing that's apparent when you just look at, right, I think the overall way they attack on the offensive side of the ball is, one, there is some schemes that to me pop up a little bit more often than they should, where I go, I've seen that concept a few times, right? Then on top of that, you go, wait, the more I watch and, the more I think about it, when I watch the Dolphins as a whole, it's always crossers, deep in cut, tight end runs a 15 or 20-yard cross, right? If he's not open, I hit the in cut behind it. It's a lot of that. Right. And to me, the one reason is because they don't have everybody on the outside there. And they can go, hey, can you just run a 15-yard comeback and scare the guy and get him to back off, and then we can throw a comeback? Because we got a quarterback here that can throw comebacks on his ass. He can sit on his ass and throw a comeback. That's how good he is. But we don't throw the ball down there. So, yeah, that's another issue with their football team. And then when I think about their offense, because it brings me down a wormhole, I started to go, I feel like the only time I see them throw the ball outside the numbers is maybe a jump ball to Keon Coleman or a back shoulder, or, it's James Cook or one of the running backs running a wheel down the sidelines. That's the only time I feel like you see it.
Which is crazy.
Everything else, I go, wait, can I remember? Let me see. Do I remember Khalil Shakir on an out route or a deep comeback or a post corner? Nope. Keon Coleman? Nope. I don't remember that. Anybody else? No, nobody. That's right. So it's always over the middle of the football field that way. And again, now if you're not going to be able to run the ball, this is where the pass game gets exposed. And yeah, they're not, in my opinion, the most dangerous that way, nor are they the most creative that way. That's where they're reliant on the run game or Josh Allen to make unbelievable plays. And that's just too much to ask on a regular basis all the freaking time.
It feels like they drafted Keon Coleman to be that guy and the consistency of that threat. And they signed Josh Palmer to a lot of money too, who's been hurt.
Exactly. It's hurting them too. But yeah, it's a Keon Coleman. It is they haven't found the right role for him yet. He's not explosive enough on the outside to scare anybody. There's times where they call routes for him on the outside and he has to run the in cut. And I go, Josh Allen, he's already at the top of his drop. He's made a hitch, and he's not even there. So Josh Allen moved on. He's like, I don't know what happened to him. Right?
Took too long.
So there's moments, too, of Keon Coleman where I go, is something wrong with him? Like, you have to come off the ball more aggressively here. Like, you can't just, jog off the ball and kind of go 80%. Like, there's some of that, too. So, yeah, all of that. Right. And, you saw, man, it's a little bit like we talked about with Green Bay. Very little systematical, right? Destruction. None of that. No systematical surgicality. None of it. So, I looked at it. I mean, seriously, other than a deep crosser and an in cut by the tight ends in the second quarter, everything is just make a play, Josh. Make a play. Make a play. Make a play. Some of the drives, the touchdown drives, the drive they had in the fourth quarter to make it 23-13, there was that one play on the drive where you go, that guy, good play call. Ooh, it was just like, Josh Allen scrambled for 12 seconds and found a 25-yard in cut. Whoa, okay, great. Now, he's the only guy on the planet, and him and Mahomes that can do that, and Lamar. Okay, good thing you had him there. And then everything else was that way too. And it's just not realistic to think you're going to be able to go to the Super Bowl playing like that week after week.
Do you blame more, Chris, the play calling or the personnel? Which one do you think is failing the offense systematical surgicality more?
It's a little combination of both. But I feel like I'd probably still go to the personnel to a degree.
I'm with you.
I know.
It's just not scary.
No, not scary. Again, you got to be elite at something, right? And we were happy because, okay, the run game, but you're going to play some teams every now and then that are going to go, damn, our run game's good, but it's the Eagles, it's the Packers, it's,
like the teams in the playoffs?
Right.
That's
like
problem.
we can't think we're just going to run the ball up the middle for 5 yards every time we want to, right? That's where it is. So what is there to feature in the pass game? Who is it that you worry about? What's the scheme that we look at week after week and go, damn, they pick people apart doing this a lot, right? And that's, to me, where you question the Bills as we go forward here is there enough, right? And I know they're scary with that guy at quarterback. I always say that. But scary just with the one guy at quarterback is not going to get it done in the NFL right now. It's not.
Well, let's look at Josh Allen's passing chart from this game because it kind of backs up everything you said in the notebook. You don't see any green dots outside the numbers beyond 10 yards.
No, you don't.
Ever.
No, you really don't. I mean,
it's
you
really
might
just
have,
in the
you might have
flats.
saw a little flat route, exactly right, which might have been a bootleg or a little play action. Ooh, bam, let me get it there, but not like drop back. And again, you see nothing out there. Everything's right there because they got nobody that can win on the outside on a consistent basis. And what got me to that, too, was because the Dolphins just played zone the whole, or really a majority of the game. And then I think they got comfortable and they're like, okay, we can dabble in some man here. We know what they're kind of doing. We're used to their routes and everything that way. But I was sitting there going, okay, it's cover 3. Yeah, you're running crossers over the middle. They're passing it off. They're perfection. There's nothing there. All right, let's just play a little bit like our guy's better than your guy on the outside. Let's just throw a 12-yard curl route. Let's throw a 20-yard comeback. Those are things that good offenses do at times, and there was just none of that. So that's where I look at that other than, oh, wait, there's a go route down the left sideline finally. Let me just throw a jump ball. Maybe our guy can get it, whatever. That's the only way they attack that part of the field. And and we know, and whatever one of our themes is, great offenses know how to make you defend every square inch of the football field. And the Buffalo Bills just don't do that right now.
In the first half of this game, the Dolphins sat in cover 3 67% of the time.
There you go.
That's jarring
because
in this era of NFL.
They're going – everything's right here. Everything. They're going, they're going to cross with this guy, or they're going to cross with this guy, and then somebody's going to follow him on a crosser, and then the guy behind him's going to in-cut behind him. So they're like, hey, cover 3, right? We'll have 5 guys kind of right in the 5 to 10-yard range area as far as throwing the ball, and it'll look like nothing's there. And, hey, this guy's coming. Okay, wait, the other guy's coming my way. You take him, I got him, right? I mean, that's what they did throughout. And, just there's lack of answers. And like I said, I feel like just too many plays that attack the same area without rhyme or reason. Just going, hey, we like this play. We think we'll execute it. That'll be okay.
Mike McDaniel gets the last laugh in this one. Decided to drive past the little Bills Mafia action on the way home in Miami. The shout out to the Bills fans. They travel well.
They do.
But not a big party after this one. It was hilarious seeing that picture of Mike McDaniel in the car. As you see right here, there's a video. Actually,
I know.
Riding in style, no surprise.
Right on South. Yep.
That is amazing. With the window down.
With the window
That's when
down.
you know. When you know you're a notable person and you're driving with the window down, it is for a good reason.
He's like, I'm so sick of hearing about I can't beat Buffalo. I'm so sick of walking off a field and the Buffalo fans are yelling at me, we own you. And, I mean, Mike does have some style, right? I do like – Mike's got style. He's definitely the best dressed, coolest coach, dressed
by
in
good
all
margin,
of football by a
I
good
would say.
margin, right? He's wearing fashion designer stuff.
Even at the combine.
I mean,
Yeah.
He's always got an awesome watch on. And what do you think that was there? You think that was a Bentley? Was that a Bentley?
It looked like one. I couldn't see from too far, but he had the matte paint job. It was custom, of course.
Right. Hey, and I mean, if you got it, go for it. I mean, you can't be buried with all that money. You might as well spend some of it.
Have a little fun with it.
Go have some fun. That's
While
right.
you can. So that's one film review in the AFC East, but we got another here on the more optimistic outlook, which is the Patriots offense. Chris, fireworks. In this one. And not just fireworks, because we've seen Drake May throwing the ball down the field all year, but the rookie class getting involved in the fireworks in a game where they finally get Kyle Williams involved, and they said, you know what? At some point, we have to trust Travion Henderson.
That's right. And I think, there's nothing that I'm going to sit here and go, ooh, this is special what they did. The thing I'll say about the New England Patriots, right? Nothing special, just good play calling, good play call sequencing, and great execution. And when you got some ballers on your football team, that can be enough at times, right? I didn't come away going, oh my gosh, Josh McDaniels did this. Oh my gosh, they designed that. Ooh, they really did it. No, I mean, they always have a well thought out smart attack. I mean, again, I played for Josh. I worked for Josh. I know how he works. There's nothing that gets done without deep thought and reason, right? But it wasn't like I sat here and went, ooh, this is the most creative thing in the world. Yeah. There's to a degree here where, again, I don't think he's unveiled his full offense yet with Drake May. I think they still are a little bit, for lack of a better way to say it, managing him, knowing he's still young, knowing he might take a chance like he did in the end zone the one time and throw a ball because he's got incredible talent, right? So I think they're slowly bringing him along that way. And within that, they run the ball, they throw good screens, they're good at that, and then they're aggressive. And I think within that, if you just call the right plays the right way and protect your quarterback, who's got, of course, big-time talent too, the rest will kind of present itself. And in the bottom line, that's really would be my basic, headline breakdown of the football game there.
Well, let's get into the three big plays here. And we want to start with the Kyle Williams touchdown. This was one of your draft crushes, Chris. Kyle Williams with a 72-yard receiving touchdown at the end of the first quarter. Patriots are down 7-0 here. And this is a big shot play on a 1st and 10.
Big shot play. And again, this is where it proves my point, right? And if we can, after it re-bracks, just pause it at the start of the snap so I can explain everything here. So, one, the play is play action, 2-man route, crossers, right? Okay, that's all it is. There's a blitz by Tampa. He knows it's Todd Bowles. If I play 21 personnel or whatever, he's probably going to put 5 men at the line of scrimmage, right? And that'll leave us in some opportunities where there'll be holes in some zone, or if they play man, can our guy beat their guy, right? So they bring 5. They end up really bringing 6 because the guy that covers the running back sees him blocking and then goes, I'm going to blitz now, right? Green dog, whatever you want to call it. Right. So within that, and then you have on your left, Kyle Williams, number 18, rookie Benjamin Morrison, right, from Notre Dame playing him. And then on the right, we had Mac Hollins there with McCollum on him playing man-to-man. Now, the one thing I'll say here, right, and I'm gonna stand up for a second just to show everybody. I can't stand up. I forgot. I'm connected to my ear too. McCollum here, I don't know if he's supposed to see this crosser and stop and help out. Because Antoine Winfield in the deep middle, he cuts the crosser for Mac Hollins. Now, there's a part of me that thinks he's supposed to see this combination and stop and help out
and
here.
let him go.
And let him go.
Pass him to the safety.
Exactly right. So, but he was late to see it. The coverage isn't horrible, but Benjamin Morrison can't run with Kyle Williams.
No.
And Drake May, with pressure bearing down on him, he makes a really a baller throw because it was tight. It wasn't like he was wide open. And Benjamin Morrison kind of got stuck in like, wait, I think I can undercut him and maybe make a play on the ball. But Drake threw a perfect ball, and Kyle pulled away with it from him at the last second. And then, boom, there you go. And you saw him turn it on, right. And this is part of the reason I loved him because, he's got 3 rockets up his ass. He's part of that club right there.
And that's a scenario for the defense. You have Zion McCollum, who's a super athlete,
right? But
he's on another deep threat.
Exactly.
And Matt Collins, you only have so many corners that are 4'3", 40-inch vertical.
100%.
Like, it's just not.
Exactly right. And I usually get mad at, Todd Bowles for too many 5-man rushes and stuff of that. That hasn't been the case for a lot of the year this year, and it wasn't the case in this football game. I mean, he played it right that way. So, I mean, it was not like, oh, he sold out to stop the run. I'm sure he knew, like, man, they make some big plays in the pass game. Every game, Drake May is like 17 completions for almost 300 yards. So that tells you he's pushing the ball down the field. And he didn't overdo it playing the run that way. But, again, like we said, it doesn't take much. New England has the type of talent and the coaching to go along with it right now where they can find ways, even through simplicity, to get big plays because of their talent and their coaching.
Well, that's what I was going to follow up with. When you look at New England's offense and how explosive they are over the top now, and we see that there where they had a single high safety, do you have to almost sit in a two shell against them, or do you think they could do enough underneath that's not really an answer?
I think you got to be careful, right? Now, they haven't got into Tom Brady, surgical Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, part of the Drake May offense. Like, to me, again, I think that's where it's coming. I think, like, they're a group up there. Even my son said this. Like, well, I mean, did they see what Travion Henderson did? Why didn't they play him more, right? I've heard a lot of that. And, oh, Kyle Williams, what are they going to play him more? I mean, what's going on there, Dad? I'm like, this is a group up there in Vrabel and McDaniels that's like, if you make one mistake, they just go, well, I don't know, we can trust them. They don't play that. They're not going to let, like, oh, he's got really good talent, but 2 or 3 times a game on a third down, he messes up. Like, that's how you lose a freaking football game. Yeah. So they're not going to put that to chance. They're going to go, wait, the guy that we're going to put in there might not be as talented as Travion or Kyle Williams, but we know he's going to be in the right place, and the talent isn't so much less than that we're like, oh, my gosh, we're actually hurting ourselves by doing that, right?
And Travion had some penties earlier in the year,
exactly,
and that's when they started to not phase him out, but they leaned on a veteran.
They went away. He needs to. You got to learn a little bit more. We got to fix him in pass protection a little bit. I'm sure there was a few routes where he had an option route and he took the wrong option, and they were like, okay, he's not in the trust tree yet. Let's keep working with him, and we'll get him there. And I think we're getting there right now.
Yeah, as seen in this game, we have 2 monster Travion Henderson runs to break down, both in the second half. The first one, the 55-yarder. 14. This is very early in the second half. New England is now up 14-10. It's a 1st and 10 right around the half-field marker here, Chris.
Well, this was just so special about their touchdown before the half because they pulled the old New England double-double, right? They score before the half. They get the ball to start the third quarter. They score again, and you're like, oh, crap. You know, we were the Bucs, and we were winning 10-7, and now we're down 21-10. This is old-fashioned. This is what Josh McDaniels calls 34 gap. 34 gap, it's your doubles play, right? And see if we can pause it again at the start, guys, just to help me there. That would be the best way to do it. But here it is, right? Oops, and I just pushed the whole table away.
We're good. Keep it going.
Right, so here it is, like, it's double by the right guard and right tackle onto 95. It's double on the center and the left guard onto Vita Vea. And then whoever has the best angle, one of those guys is going to, as we move the double team, one of us is going to release and get to the backer, right? And at first, 98, Nelson was in between these two guys here, Mac Hollins and Hunter Henry, right? So they were going to double him too, right, and then move to the next guy. But it changed. When 98 moved in, they have to make a call. So now he had to take him one-on-one, and then Mac Hollins had to get in here and dig the guy out a little bit. But it was just get off the ball. Let's not be overcomplicated. Again, this is a Bucs defense that we know is good and has got some stout, big-time run stuffers and all that. And they block it up the right way to where they get hat on hat, and sometimes it's all you need for a guy with 3 rockets up his ass like Travion Henderson. Mac Hollins probably got away with a hold onto 23, right? He was real slick with it, but nonetheless, there was a hole there, and there was going to be significant yardage regardless. And, yeah, again, that's New England doesn't waste plays. Right? New England doesn't waste plays. They everything they call, just like every good offense, has rhyme, reason, and intention. It's not like we just go, oh, I like this play. We read it good in practice. They don't work like that. It's like if we're being played a certain way, we're going to call this play. If they change it to this way, hey, we're going to get to this package of plays. That's the way it is. And, you know, when you look at them, you go, they can do it all on offense through kind of a simple lens right now. They run the ball. They're a good screen team. They're a good wide receiver screen team, right? And then they're awesome at play action pass. And then their drop back pass game is pretty damn good too. A team like the opposite of Buffalo, they make you defend every square inch of the football field, and they know how to feature some guys in times, depending on the game or whatever they got to do. Okay, you want to take away our big plays? We have Stephon Diggs to work the underneath and the intermediate stuff, and now we'll just surgically destroy you. Oh, you want to take that away? Well, we'll take a shot down the right sideline to Mac Hollins. He's man-to-man. Our guy can throw it deep, and our guys can run by you. They'll do it, right? So they don't leave any part of the field, you know, they don't void any part of the field.
Right, every blade of grass.
Right, exactly right.
After all of that, you still have a quarterback that can create with his legs.
Exactly.
Which he hasn't had to do as much of.
He hasn't had to do as much of. And what's funny, and I'm glad you brought that up, is the Bucs were scared of it. So there's another thing that you have to worry about. Now it's third down. I got to worry about all these weapons and their offense of Josh McDaniels. And Todd Bowles rushed 3 a few times because he was probably like, wait, I can't cover everybody and have a quarterback spy with a 4-man rush. So we're going to rush 3. and I'm going to have a quarterback spy. And that, to me, was another thing. I was going, man, Drake May has gotten to the point here now where he's running so good. Teams are looking at it going, we got to take it away on 3rd and 7. That's a true aspect of their offense, and, man, they're tough to defend right now in New England.
And then it's hard for the rush to get home.
Right.
One last one here, Trayvon Henderson. Again, this is a funny one on the 69-yard rushing touchdown with less than 2 minutes left. He was kind of looking like to make sure.
It's like awesome. How awesome are you and how fast are you
that you can
be running away from NFL players and be like, you know what? Hold on. This might be one of those moments where the coach tells me to go down. Let me just check with him. I mean, I loved it. And the fact that he points at him and then points at the end zone.
Hilarious.
He points at him, and like Vrabel must have been like, go, and he's like, he points to the end zone, like, okay, I can go there? Yep. Okay, I'll go.
Which they probably loved.
Oh, they love, because that's the kind of guy they want.
Yep.
Football awareness, IQ. They don't want anything but that up there. So, yes, and the play itself, and this is, again, where McDaniels is awesome because he's got all these big mofos on Tampa. And he's going, we can't run it up the middle all game long, right? They pack the middle. Especially if we get in goal line offense here, which is what they're in. And then they run the toss sweep. And they ran a few tosses during the game because they were like, no, we're not going to just let you like totally slam the middle of the part of the offense and we're going to try to hit our head against the wall and run the ball that way. So, I mean, they had a 3rd and 9 where they ran a toss crack and got a first down, right? McDaniel, if you overplay something, he's got the guts and the kahunas to go, wait, it's 3rd and inches and you're going to crowd. I'll take a shot down the field, right? Yeah. It's 3rd and 8 and you're going to play some crazy, put everybody at the line of scrimmage on the ball and then drop out of there. Well, we'll just smash you all in there and toss the ball outside. And that's why the Patriots are awesome and one of the best teams in the AFC.
They are, and they are one of the best teams in 11 personnel right now, the most popular personnel grouping in the NFL in terms of how often it's run. 7.1 yards a play this season. That's the best in the NFL.
Yep.
9.3 yards per pass play. That's the best in the NFL. So throwing out of 11 personnel, they've been amazing.
Yeah.
And then 4.4 yards per run play is 25th in the NFL, but 8 yards per rush in Week 10, which led the NFL.
Well,
so I think they're finding it now in the run game.
They're finding it in the run game. And, you know, the other thing that's a little scary with them when they get an 11 personnel is Matt Collins he's an incredible blocker. So like we saw in the
first, on the line of scrimmage.
Exactly. He played him basically like a de facto tight end there. Where they went tight end, you come right off the tight end. You usually see a 2 tight end set like that, right? But they went, no, let's play this personnel because they might play a different defense, but get in there and block like a tight end. And he's physical to do that. And though it's the beauty, if you're playing 11 a lot and doing that, you need a Puka Nacua.
I was just going to say.
Or a Cooper Kupp or a wide receiver that you know can go get a little dirty at times, and that's where Matt Collins really helps them out.
This one from Zishenjen, 1007. What do you think are the similarities and differences between this year's Patriots and last year's Commanders? Both teams weren't expected to perform as well as they did, but the Commanders were considered one of the teams to make the Super Bowl, and they fell off hard this year. I'm hearing similar levels of praise given to the Patriots. Could the Patriots experience something similar next year?
I don't think so at all.
I don't think so either. Also,
I'm way more skeptical of Dan Quinn as a head coach than I am Mike Vrabel.
I think that's what it comes down to.
And same with even like as much as we talk about Cliff Kingsbury and I like him, I don't think he's Josh McDaniels. Right? And the other thing that I would say was, the Jaden Daniel aspect, I think like everybody was like, whoa, wait, we don't know how to defend what Cliff does and his running off of it. And, of course, he's a great thrower. And I think it took a little while for teams to kind of recalibrate how we want to defend Cliff Kingsbury that way, right? And then I think the other thing, too, which they both have in common, they both had easy schedules. I get that. In Washington last year, Washington had some what I would call lucky, fortunate wins also last year. Horseshoe up the ass kind of wins, right? I would say that as well. And where this is, to me, where it's different. Washington went all in almost to win last year. They first year got a lot of just older veteran guys. We want to be good right away. And now we're going, we just said yesterday, they're the oldest team in football by a significant margin, and they stink. And now it's like, this offseason, you're going to have to recalibrate your whole freaking team.
And they're injured.
And you traded away picks for Laramie Tunsil and other things. That's where.
Lattimore.
Right, exactly. Marshawn Lattimore. New England, I sit here and go, the nucleus of the team is young. I mean, it's Christian Gonzalez.
Right.
It's the left tackle. It's Drake May. It's Trevion Henderson. It's Booty. It's Demario Douglas, right? The older guys are like, oh, it's Hunter Henry, who's in the prime of his career, right? Milton Williams is in year 5. Okay, right?
Very young team.
We have one Harold Landry who's been around. But for the most part, we're talking about, I don't see this falling off to the capacity of Washington, not at all.
No, I'm with you. Very different scenarios.
Right.
We have some breaking news before we get out of here.
Whoa.
Yeah, not fun breaking news.
Oh, no.
Travis Hunter has
Done for the
season-ending knee surgery. It was an LCL injury. He's expected to resume football activities in 6 months. Let me throw a question at you, because I thought about this when they made the move, and I liked Travis Hunter a lot.
When they made the move, I got scared. When they traded for Jacoby Myers, right, I had some people go, I think this Travis Hunter injury is more significant than they're letting on.
Do you think in the modern NFL, you can trade what they did for a non-quarterback with the risk of injury that exists in the sport? Think of everything they gave up to get him. And I'm not, listen, I love Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
And also a player that, he's a skinnier guy. Injuries are not, it's not.
That's why I don't love those Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave type receivers a lot.
Right. I mean, it just makes you wonder, you sink so much capital. I'm not saying it was the wrong move, but now you look at it and go, man, if the guy gets hurt, we sacrificed a lot of other assets we had for him. It increases your risk, is my point.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many teams will replicate this kind of move.
I think it's a fair question. There's a little bit of a guy like me where, quarterback, maybe pass rusher. Those are the first things I think about trading up for, right? Yeah. After that, it's like, we better do our research and feel really comfortable about it. I think, again, I really like Travis Hunter. I never would have traded that type of draft capita for Travis Hunter, right? I mean, again, I'm on record. I'd rather have Malik Neighbors than Travis Hunter at receiver, or a Brian Thomas Jr. or a bunch of other receivers. I like Travis Hunter, don't get me wrong. Again, but did I think he was second or third pick of the draft type talent? No. Anybody that listened to me during the draft process, I stay true to my word that way. He's really good. He's going to be good in the NFL and all that, but I don't know if he was ever worth that in my mind. And you know what I thought about him as a DB.
Right.
And again, I'm one to sit here and tell you when I'm wrong. I was wrong about Drake May. I always say when I'm wrong. But I mean, again, he never looked like a corner that could be on an island and play somebody like, oh, I just got you, right? It wasn't that. You saw enough.
Like Quinyon Mitchell.
Exactly. You saw enough filming on him that's not what he was. When he had to play a freak of nature receiver, they were like, cover somebody else. Or we're going to play zone today. You won't have to cover him. So, yeah, they're going to be a lot of second guessing on this conversation right here.
It's too early for that, but just the strategy is what I'm bringing up.
Yeah, I think
where other teams might be afraid now.
I don't think you're crazy.
In short order, besides the swap, they basically gave up a 1 and a 2.
Right.
That's a lot.
That's trading up for a quarterback. That's that type of capita.
Right.
And I know that caught by a lot of people. Listen, on draft night, when they did that, I had people texting me I can't believe Jacksonville gave that up to go get Travis Hunter. Right. There was definitely people who were shocked around the NFL.
All right, that's it for us, at least for our live portion. We don't go anywhere. We have a lot left to do.
Yep, we're going to tape another one, so you'll see us Wednesday, all right? That'll always drop, our Wednesday pod, and then Thursday I'm back with Floria. But weekly basis, Monday, 10 a.m., live, me and Connor Rogers. Tuesday, 2 p.m., live, Connor Rogers and I. He'll wear a new outfit all the time. His Johnny Fashion Show over here. All right, everybody, you know where to find us. Subscribe, rate, review. Keep sending in the great questions. We enjoy everybody interacting.
Absolutely.
You the man, bro.
Good stuff, man.
All right, peace out, homies. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.